Hey besties, it's me, Sabrina, and it is time for our October TBR. You cannot tell, I am so excited because October is my favorite time of the year. Like, it's so much my favorite that I got married on Halloween. So this is gonna be the best TBR that ever TBR'd. And I'm not just saying that, I promise. Hello?
Sabrina reads and roams. Are you ready to accept the October challenge?
Who is this?
I'm the deliverer of challenges.
Where did you get this number from? What is this phone number?
Don't worry about that. It's time to talk about the challenge.
What? Hold on. I'm trying to film my TBR video though. What is this?
It's the challenge.
Challenge?
Yes?
What kind of challenge? No, I'm filming a video for YouTube.
Yes.
Listen, I don't know what this is a fake phone. How did you call this?
Either accept the challenge or accept the challenge.
Okay, but I don't want to do it. What do you mean? What's the challenge?
You'll be given 5 prompts that will point you to the books I want you to read for the month of October.
No, I don't want to read the books that you want me to read. I have a TBR jar.
No, you don't.
I have a whole TBR jar though. What do you mean? I can't read your books. What are you doing?
I'm helping you.
I have a second TBR jar, so forget it. I'm gonna do this one. I don't know who you are and who you think you are, but this is my YouTube channel and I'm gonna do my TBR jar. Thank you. Anyway, like I was saying, why does it keep doing this?
Enough with the TBR jars.
Fine, you know what? Now, what am I supposed to do? What is that? My iPad? What am I supposed to do with...
The spinner.
There's a spinner wheel on here. You want me to spin the...
Spin it 5 times.
You want me to spin the wheel 5 times and come up with 5 prompts?
Yes, you heard me.
Okay.
Then call me back.
And then call you back? What is your phone... What?
Less complaining, more spinning.
Oh my god, you're impossible. Ugh. As if. I guess we're gonna spin the spinner wheel. Because the fake phone called me and that's what it wants me to do. Okay, we have company on the set now because I'm a little bit afraid that someone has gotten the phone number to my fake phone and called to interrupt what I was doing here and made demands of what I do on my video. So I just needed some company. Anyway, we have been gifted a spinner wheel. I guess I'm gonna spin it 5 times to get 5 prompts in lieu of our TBR jar. So let's give it a spin. A book with a cursed object. Okay. I was instructed to go ahead and spin 5 times and then call back for my next instruction. So guess we're gonna pick our books in a little bit. Let's keep going with the spinner. Number 2. Book 2 in a series you've not started yet. All right, let's go for spin number 3. A book where the villain is the main character. Spin number 4. A book that starts with a death. All right, this is gonna be our last spin. A book described as disturbing. Okay. So I guess now we're gonna call our bestie back? Whoever this Joker even is. What do I like?
Good girl.
Oh, it's you. Now what do you want me to do?
It's about time you finish that spooky creature square for hrcyed.
Wait, how do you know about the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do?
I know everything. Now pay attention.
Okay.
Just make sure you finish the spooky creature square and add in a vampire story for good measure.
Oh, hey, now that's not a bad idea. Well, let's see what I have left, and I'll do that. Okay, so apparently now we're going to look at the spooky creatures tab on my hrcyed spreadsheet and see which spooky creatures challenges I have not met yet, and we're gonna meet those this month. You know what? I'm not too mad at that one because I would love to check off that square. Okay, so currently I have not read a book for Shifter, Magic User, Merfolk, Zombie, but our best friend also said that because it's October, I have to read a vampire book as well, even though I already read one of those. So that's 5 books. So we have 5 books, we have 5 prompts, and then they said there's one more thing that I have to call them back for before we can choose books. Has this person ever called you in your TBR video? Do you know who this is? Okay, I got it. Now what?
Now make sure you hit all 5 of your reading modalities and then I'll leave you alone.
Oh, well that's super easy. Why didn't you say that first? Okay, I can do that. Is that it? Do I have to call you back again or can I get on with it and can I pick my books?
I already said that's all you need to do. Enough with the sass.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for calling. Don't call again. Thank you. All right, the last thing we have to do is make sure that we read 1 ARC, 1 library book, 1 Libby book, 1 audio book, and 1 Kindle Unlimited book. Let's go pick some books to meet all of these challenges so that this person can never call me again. It's a little creepy, right? Okay, so that was like a ton of fun. Thanks for humoring me with that. But now let's talk about the books. And truly, thanks for humoring my husband because he wanted me to use a spinner wheel. Those prompts were his, so I guess that was him calling me on the phone. Let's talk about the books that we're going to use to meet those prompts. And don't worry, the TBR jar will be back. The TBR jars will be back. So for our first book that we pulled, I had to do some research on these. These were hard. We pulled a book with a cursed object in it. And for that one, I came up with this stack of books. Now, I don't know if this is right. I had to Google, so I'm kind of going off of what Google said because I don't know anything about these books. And so we're gonna do the best that we can, besties, okay? So this is what Google told me, okay? It says Circe, however you choose to pronounce that. I'm going with Circe. So it says Circe, how to sell a haunted house, which I think the house is the haunted object, perhaps. 9th house, which I didn't know that this had a cursed object in it, but if Google said it did, then it's good enough for me. And here's the thing, since those were my husband's prompts and he asked me as like an anniversary gift to him, I guess, to do his prompts for one of my videos, I asked him if Google said it had a cursed object in it, if that counted, and he said yes. So he's gonna accept it, so I'm gonna accept it. So 9th House by Lee Bardugo. These have been on my list for quite some time. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And then The Priory of the Orange Tree. I don't know if I can stomach this in October, is all I'm gonna say. But this one did pop up for quite a few of the prompts for this month. So I'm like, does it just mean that I should read it? I don't know. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's not quite the time for the Poppy Wars. I do want to read this, but like, it's not really giving October. So I think I'm going to skip the Poppy Wars for this. I also don't know that this is quite where I want to go with this. And this just feels like a lot. It feels like a lot. So I don't know. I think I'm kind of in between How to Sell a Haunted House and 9th House. And I don't know which. I feel, okay, here's my thought process. I feel like this is a very October book, right? Like that makes sense. And I feel like I could read this in like November-y. So I think I'm gonna go with How to Sell a Haunted House. Then our second prompt was to read a book that is the second book in a series you have not started yet. That is horrifying, and I can see why he put that on the list, that on the spinner wheel. That's rude, sir. I think I found a good way to cheat that though. I'm clever. I actually picked up a romance book. Because it kind of doesn't matter that much. Like, the stakes are not that high. Like, if I read the second in a fantasy series, like, although I did consider reading A Day of Fallen Night, because that's like the second one in the series. Or I could have read The Priory of the Orange Tree, because that's technically like timeline's second one, but those books are so thick, girl. So I just thought, like, you know, I could do for a romance in October. This one, I haven't read any of these books yet. Right Move. The Right Move is the second one in the series. It's a way to kind of get around this prompt without it being too terrible. Sorry, babe. That's what I'm doing. So we're going to do The Right Move for that book. Our third prompt was a book where the villain is the main character. Again, I had to turn to Google because your girl doesn't know what these books are about. So I found two of them on my shelf. And so the first of those was The Atlas 6 by Olive Blake. Again, I hope that's true, that the villain is the main character in this story. And then the second one was Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which I do think that is true. I'm pretty sure that that's true for this one. So this is another one of my V.E. Schwab backlist that I need to read. And so these two were on my shelf already. I did have a couple of other ones that I was considering, like trying to get from the library or from Kindle Unlimited, which were My Dark Vanessa, A Head Full of Ghosts, and A Dowry of Blood. So I'm still thinking of getting A Dowry of Blood from my library. However, I do think there's going to be tough competition to get that in the month of October. And it's currently a little bit too early to try to check it out from the library to read in October. So what I think I want to do, I don't know, you guys, which one's giving October? Vicious kind of seems like it's more of a, like, you know, like out to get you sort of situation. Vicious? Should we do Vicious? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to put Vicious on the list, okay? I'm going to attempt to get A Dowry of Blood from the library. And if I cannot, I'm going to read Vicious. If I can, I'm going to read A Dowry of Blood. So when I do my wrap up for October, don't come for me if I do the switch out for A Dowry of Blood instead of reading Vicious. But right now, we're planning to read Vicious, okay? Then our next prompt was a book that starts with a death. So again, had to go to the Google and see what they thought started with a death. So for this one, it said The Fifth Season, which kind of surprised me. Like, I don't know if I knew that was a thing. The Fifth Season actually came up in quite a few different places of where I was looking for books, but it came up in Starts with a Death. So hopefully that's not a spoiler. But yeah, so it said that one. So there's that. Also from my shelf, it said The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. So we got a vampire story for October. And I also was looking at some other things that I could get from the library, and we had Yellow Face, which I do want to read, and then Red Rising, which I super want to read. But I think, again, it is October, so it feels like we should really be reading something about vampires, even though we already have another Grady Hendrix on the list. Why not just have a Grady Hendrix fest in October, right? So I think I'm going to go with this book for our book that starts with a death. Okay, here's where it gets interesting. So I had to Google books that were described as disturbing because I don't know, how would I know? And I don't own any of these books, so yay me because I don't own disturbing books. But there's a list, okay? So there are a couple of books that I have come across. On my Kindle, there is a book called Pen Pal. Now, I cannot tell you why I have this book checked out of Kindle Unlimited, but it's been in my Kindle library for a long time. And every time I go to read it, I'm like, I don't actually want to read this, but it's still there. I haven't like returned it. So it's there. I think it's actually pretty disturbing. So I could read that and just finally return it. There's also The Only Good Indians, which is on Kindle Unlimited. And I do really want to read a Stephen Graham Jones book. And so that would be a good opportunity to go ahead and knock one of those out. And then there's The Last House on Needless Street, which is, I think, on Kindle Unlimited, but it's giving me some guff about like actually putting it onto my Kindle Unlimited. Like, it's weird. I don't know. It's like kind of not available. So I don't really care. Like maybe we'll just skip over that one. So it's kind of between Pen Pal, which I already have in my library, and The Only Good Indians. And I'm a little undecided on which one of those I should try to read. And maybe I shouldn't decide yet. Maybe can you guys tell me in the comments, do you think I should read Pen Pal? Or should I just yeet Pen Pal back into the KU universe, because I think it's a truly tragic book, and read The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones? Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to fully decide on that one just yet, but let me know in the comments what you guys think I should do. And I'll add that to my TBR. Okay. So those are the 5 prompts that I pulled, okay? Then I was challenged by the telephone to finish my Spooky Creatures square on hrcyed. And so for that, I still needed to read a book about a shifter, a book about a magic user, a book about a merfolk, and a book about a zombie. And then also they challenged me to read a book about a vampire because it's October. Even though I've already read a vampire book, I read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Okay, so for shifter, again, had to go to the Google, and it told me Priory of the Orange Tree has some sort of shifting going on in it. Again, I don't know that I can handle that in October. October is a pretty busy month. I'm looking at something like January, where we're coming down from everything and I just want like to spend the month reading one book. Okay. So probably not. Now, it also said the 5th season here. So that's an option. I think there's some sort of like shifting of like earth materials or something, stones, something like that. And then it also recommended Gideon the Ninth, which I think I could get from my library. So I think there's that option. And then on my shelf, it recommended me Children of Blood and Bone, which I have books 1 and 2. I'm waiting for book 3 to come out in the matching paperback, you know, with these matching sprayed edges, because I need a matching set, okay? Ideally, I would like to have book 3 before I start reading the series, because I want to just binge it start to finish. That's what I want to do. So I kind of feel like maybe no on this one. That's where I'm at. I feel like no. I feel like I should try to do Gideon the Ninth from the library. Let's do that. All right, and then for Merfolk, I was able to find 3 books on my shelf already. So we have Amelia Hart, The Sirens, which I have been meaning to read for the whole summer and I never got to it. So we have that, okay. I'm assuming it's about mermaids. I actually didn't check, but it's called The Sirens, and what else could it be about? I've got Skin of the Sea, which I think is a YA book, and I picked it up on a lark. My husband was like, this looks good, you should read this. But listen, we have stunning black women on the cover. What could be better? Okay? And then we have Vanessa Vita Kelly's When the Tides Held the Moon, and I have been dying to read this, and listen, this book, I've heard such incredible, amazing things about this book, so this is one that I really, really, really want to read too. So I've got these 3 options. Did I look up any other? I didn't even bother looking up any other ones that I could get from like the library or Libby or anything like that. So I think we're gonna put back The Sirens. It's way super summery, and that's not really the vibes right now. Okay, so I'm kind of between Skin of the Sea and When the Tides Held the Moon. Now, I am dying to read this one, but I also would just like to read this one. Because, I mean, she's gorgeous, right? And also, she's kind of a shorty little book. And so I would love to have, like, a shorter book added onto my list. So I think we're going to go with this one. We're going to go Skin of the Sea. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. I also need to read a book with a zombie in it. And would you know that one of the prompts every single month in hrcyed is to read a new release, and I have already selected my new release because I am going to be reading a Kindle First Reads book, Amazon First Reads book, that is Dating After End of the World. I already got it in my Kindle. It doesn't come out until October 1st, so I haven't read it yet. I'm gonna read that, but that features zombies, so that's going to be my zombie book. Excellent, right? I didn't bother pre-selecting a magic users book because everything I read is about magic users. Not everything, but most things that I read are about magic users. Now, this cart is supposed to be my seasonal TBR cart, and I'm looking to see what magic user situations we have on this list. And there's so many, and I'm like, There's A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, One Dark Window. We could get Cozy, the spell shop. I think there's magic users in that, right? So we got some good options here. I think, One Dark Window, super atmospheric, but I feel like I could read that in November just fine. Like those super cozy rainy times in November, like I could see myself reading this like after Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so I think we're gonna pass on that one. So I know what you're saying. It's The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, right? Because it's October. You're right. And now we need to pick a vampire book. That's like half the books on this shelf. So a vampire book. We have Carmilla. We have one that couldn't fit on the shelf, which is Blood Moon, brand new release. Immortal Dark. This Ravenous Fate. Okay, those are the ones that I like, am like super interested in reading right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I'm ready for this Ravenous Fate just right this moment. So let's put that one back. And I also don't think I'm ready for Immortal Dark either. So we're gonna skip on that one. So we're basically gonna be between Blood Moon and Carmilla. Now, I'm looking at the rest of the stack over here and I'm kind of like, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read Carmilla because I don't really read classics and I feel like now's a good time to do it. And Carmilla just is, I mean, Carmilla is 100% giving Halloween. And I think Carmilla will be a good one to read on Halloween itself. So let's do Carmilla. We're gonna see where vampires basically came from, okay? So we're gonna add Blood Moon. Can we fit it? Oh, it still can't fit. Don't worry, she'll get red eventually. She can't even go up there. Okay, that leaves us with one other thing, which is, oh, wait, no, two other things. So my audiobook, I am gonna go ahead and finish the Darkwood trilogy. I have one book left in that, and that is the third one called Red as Flame. That will knock out my Series Staircase trilogy books. And then, I already own that, so. And then for my ARC, I'm going to read The Fighting Spirit by Rob Keeley. And that book was gifted to me by the author himself. And so I cannot wait to read that. It's a ghost story. It's a middle grades ghost story. So I cannot wait to get into that and report back to you guys about how that book was. And it looks really, really good. So super excited to read that one. So those are already locked and loaded. Now, there are a few other things that I do need to read. I already told you about my hrcyed new release. There is no heritage prompt for the month of October because Hispanic heritage spans between September and October, and I read the book in September. And then none of my book clubs have picked their book yet. So I have my personal book club, Tacos and Tequila, and we will be picking a book, but it's a quarterly book club, so that book doesn't need to be read until like December. So I'm not even gonna try to worry about it in the month of October. And then the workbook club has been on hiatus. So we have not picked a book yet. So I don't know. I somehow got roped into a new book club called In the Book Club We All Fam, and we just finished our first book, so we have not picked another book yet. So I don't know what we're gonna read yet. So that is my October TBR. I hope you had fun watching it. I had a lot of fun filming it, and I think, so I was looking forward to the end of the year, and I think November we will do a TBR jar. I think for December, I want to just read vibes. I just want it to be vibey. Like, you know, maybe we'll like roll some dice and figure out what to read. we'll just kind of figure out what kind of mood we're in to see what we want to read, and we'll kind of go from there, because December is just such an easy breezy, lazy, whatever, laying on the couch kind of month anyway. So, and then we're gonna have to get it back in gear for January, right? I say this like this is like so dead serious. We're reading for fun. This is not a chore, but I like to make sure I've got my like plans, you know? So anyway, let me rapid fire these books for you, and then I'll let you go, okay? So we have our ARC, which is going to be The Fighting Spirit by Rob Keeley. We have our audiobook, which is going to be Red as Flame. That's the third in the Darkwood trilogy. We have a vampire book, which will be Carmilla. A magic user's book, which will be A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. We will have a zombie book, which will be Dating After the End of the World. We'll have a merfolk book, which will be Skin of the Deep. We have a shifter book, which will be Gideon the Ninth, which I'll be checking out from the library. We have a book that starts with a death, which will be the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. We have book 2 in a series that I haven't even started yet, which will be The Right Move. We have a book with a cursed object, which will be How to Sell a Haunted House. We have a book where the main character is a villain, which will either be Vicious by V. Schwab or A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, which I'll get from my library. And for my disturbing book, I need you guys to vote in the comments if I'm gonna read Pen Pal or if I'm gonna yeet that out of my Kindle library and I'm gonna read The Only Good Indians. And then you might have noticed that I did not pick a Libby book. Now, at the time that I'm filming this, it is the week that Libby changed up how the hold system, like the holds and the deliver laters and all that stuff works, and things are a little bit crazy at Libby right now. And I cannot tell you, based on what's going on in my Libby hold page, when and if or how I'm going to get any books released to me. So it's a little bit difficult for me to tell. And I think what I would like to do is just release all of my holds and let them all come to me and drop my Kindle in airplane mode and just read. I think that's what I want to do for my Libby slot for the month. I don't know. That might be crazy. Like, my husband has a Kindle too, and he doesn't use it hardly ever, and he's definitely not using it right now. So if I have a book that I'm like, I need to read, and I have all these other books that are on my airplane mode Kindle, I could just use his Kindle to read the one that I need to download and read, you know what I mean? So I think I might just do that and clear up my whole Libby holds. And so I might just be reading a ton of books from Libby. So I didn't pick one for that, but there will be a Libby book being read, okay? I'm just giving you that, okay? So those are the books that I'm gonna read for the month of October, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So if you made this far, thank you for hanging out with me, and I so appreciate you being here. There are like over 200 of you guys who are subscribed now. That's incredible. I just want to say I love you all, and I'm so glad that you chose to hang out with me in this little part of the internet. And I will see you in the very next video.